What if investing in real estate is keeping you poor? Here's what I discovered after owning 96 apartments and what those guru courses aren't telling you. All right, so let me guess. You've heard that real estate is the key to wealth, right? I mean, and maybe you have even read the book, Robert Kiyosaki, right? Rich Dad, Poor Dad, where he basically says, invest in real estate. Well, so did I. And this is where in 2006, when everybody and his grandmother was investing in real estate, I did too. I started buying single family homes. At first, I just bought one and it went well. So I bought a second one and a third one and a fourth one. And before I knew it, I had 10 single family homes. And you see, this is when it got busy. I mean, I was just busy managing these 10 single family homes. So I heard from somebody that investing in apartment complexes is the way to go. So I did it. I sold all of the single family homes and I bought my first apartment complex. And you know what? It worked pretty well. So 2 years later, I bought my second apartment complex. You see, here's what they don't tell you about being a landlord. I remember the night that I got a call from the Austin police at 9:30 at night. And here's what happened. A truck had crashed into my tenant's living room. So this was in the apartment complex. And in the parking lot, the driver was intoxicated, right? So had a few drinks and he slammed right into the living room. And guess who had to deal with it? Me, because the police called me and said, you have to come here. So I went there and I saw what the problem is. And the problem was that the police couldn't pull out the truck because then the building would collapse, right? So on the other hand, there was a family living right there in this flat and in this apartment. And so I had to relocate them anyhow. But you see, that's not even the worst part. You see, I had 96 doors and this means that I had 96 tenants. This means that I had 96 ACs in Texas summer that go out regularly. I had 96 water heaters that could break and flood. I had 96 appliances. And these were at some point in 2020, which is right now 5 years ago. I had enough of this. I had enough and I sold everything. So the question is, why did I stop investing in real estate after all of these years? I mean, I've been investing in real estate, for 14, 15 years? And so why did I stop? And you also might be thinking, okay, if not real estate, then what? Now, if you have seen any of my videos, you know that I love investing in stocks. And I want to give you 5 reasons why the stock market beats real estate. However, there's a shocking fact. 46% of Americans don't even own stock. They're scared of the stock market. And you might have heard horror stories about people losing everything in crashes. Let me tell you why I like investing in stocks. Advantage number 1, you typically see higher historical returns. You see, stocks average around 10% annual returns, and real estate only delivers 3 to 5% return. And if you invest in stocks at potentially 2 to 3 times more wealth generation, and I know, yes, there's a tons of factors to consider, like appreciation, depreciation, leverage, tax advantages, and all of this stuff. So let's move on to a few things that are absolutely undisputed. Advantage number 2 is the liquidity. You see, stocks can be sold instantly with a click. Real estate can take months to sell. When I invested in single family homes, I mean, it typically took 30 to 45 days to closing. If you invest in multi-family homes, apartment complexes, it can take 90 to 120 days. So if you need cash quickly, stocks can give you immediate access because all you need to do is basically push a button and you sold your stocks. Now, another huge advantage is that when you have stocks, you can get a portfolio loan. Now, a portfolio loan allows you to borrow money against your stock portfolio. Now, since this is a secured loan, you get super low interest rate and you can keep the stocks. So kind of a double whammy. Moving on to the next advantage. Advantage number 3, lower transaction costs. You see, when you own stocks, there's no property management fees. There's no maintenance expenses. There's no property taxes or insurance. You see, only you have minimal trading costs with modern platforms, and most brokers allow you to trade stocks for free. And just think about the closing costs. I mean, the closing costs can be anywhere between 1 to 5% depending on the state, right? Not with stocks. I mean, stocks are free to buy and free to sell. Now, this gives you an immediate advantage instead of being in the hole by 1 to 5% with the closing costs and all of the other fees that you have when investing in real estate. Next, advantage number 4. Diversification. You can buy multiple stocks in multiple industries, so therefore it's quite easy to diversify, and you can recession-proof your portfolio. Now, real estate locks you into a single property. And you see, for me, for example, I was invested in Austin. All of my properties were in Austin. So if the real estate market goes down in Austin, this means that all of my properties are worth less. That adds to the stress. There's more and more houses being built. There's more and more apartment complexes being built. And there were absolutely new regulations. As an example, I couldn't evict anybody during COVID. So yes, the tenants were allowed not to pay rent, and I couldn't even get rid of them. I had to let them stay for free. Kind of crazy, right? Advantage number 5. I believe that trading and investing in stocks gives you true passive income potential, because especially if you invest in dividend stocks, you get regular income without doing anything. So you have no tenant management headaches. You don't have to evict them. You have no broken ACs or appliances or water heater. You have no property manager nightmares, because I don't know about you, if you ever worked with property managers, most of them just have a bunch of empty promises. You also don't have to deal with late rent payments. You don't have to do any renovations, and you also don't have to deal with contractors who never show up when they say they would and then charge way more than they said they would. But here's the most important thing. It's about time, because I believe that time is the most valuable asset, especially as I'm getting older. I'm 55 years old now. And imagine this, it's Saturday morning, and are you really dealing with an angry tenant because the AC went out and it's 100 degrees outside? Or are you sitting there sipping coffee while checking your portfolio? You see, when I was in real estate, my weekends weren't my own. Late night calls and endless renovations, chasing late rent payments. So this is why in 2021, I sold all of my real estate investments, everything. And it was a relief, because now no more tenants, no more broken ACs, no more contractors ghosting me. And I put all of the money into my stock trading account, and I continued investing it using my software, the Forex Optimizer. But let's talk about this. Is this really smart? What about putting all of your eggs in one basket, in this case, the stock market? Because the question that many people have is, what if I lose it all? And let me be straight with you. That is the number one fear for most investors, losing everything. And yes, it can happen if you make the same mistakes that I did in the beginning. You see, when I started trading, I wanted home run trades. This is where I wanted to invest $1,000 in a stock, and I wanted it to be worth $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. I had these crazy dreams of turning $5,000 into $2 million if I just get these 10 bangers. And you know what? That's what caused me to lose more than half of my money, because here's the deal. The risk is always a function of the reward that you're seeking. If you're looking for smaller rewards, you can take smaller risks. However, if you want to double, triple, quadruple your money, it's like playing roulette. You put everything on one number. If it comes, yay, and if it doesn't, you're losing it. And you see, I'm not alone. Do you remember all of this meme stock craziness during the pandemic? Do you remember GameStop? Have you actually seen the movie? That's a really good movie about this. And this is where you see that people who invested $1,000 were suddenly up $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, and then lost it all. And just think about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin's wild swings. These aren't investments. I believe that this is financial gambling. And I've seen countless investors get burned by chasing these quick riches. You see, this is why I like to trade and invest like Warren Buffett. You see, Warren Buffett, he's one of my heroes. This is where he always says, real wealth isn't built on hype. It's built on solid, proven strategies. And his golden rules are, number 1, invest in businesses, not ticker symbol. Look for companies with strong fundamentals, consistent earnings, competitive advantages, and long-term growth potential. And that's exactly what I do when I invest according to my SRC approach, using the Forex Optimizer. Now, let me explain to you what that means, SRC. It means systematic, that I have a plan that I follow. And you see, then I even have a mug here that reminds me every day to follow my plan. But you can't follow your plan if you don't have a plan. So S means having a system, having a plan. R means that it is repeatable, that I can use this approach whether there's a bull market, bear market, whether there's high volatility, low volatility, whether there's a COVID crash or there's 2024 hype where the markets went up almost 30%. That is what I call repeatable. And then C stands for consistent. My goal is to make money month after month, and not just having a few lucky trades, but having the consistency in my trading. That is important to me. And you see, based on this, I've developed my own approach, and I believe that everybody needs to have his own investment approach, because you see, I'm always getting asked, Markus, what is the best investment strategy? Here's the deal. The best investment strategy is the one that lets you sleep at night. If you're waking up in the middle of the night, staring at the ceiling, wondering about your investments, worrying about your investments, panicking about some stocks that you have in your portfolio, you are not following a strategy that is for you. And you see, for me, it is minimizing risk, maximizing consistent returns, and following the rule of SRC profit. Systematic, repeatable, and consistent. Because here's the deal. Investing isn't about getting rich overnight. It's about building wealth steadily and intelligently. And trust me, I've learned this the hard way, because when I invested in the beginning, I was just chasing the riches. I was looking at the ads where somebody said, oh my gosh, I used some option trades and I made 650% or 300% or something like this. I believed in this. No longer. My approach is systematically repeatable and consistent. So here's the truth, right? I mean, both real estate and stock can build wealth, but for me, it's stock. They win hands down, and I've done both, right? I mean, I've invested in real estate almost 15 years. So ask yourself, do you want more time, less stress, and the potential for higher returns? Remember, your financial future is in your hands. So are you ready to take control? If so, I have another video for you that shows you exactly my investment approach and how I invest in stocks and options. So hop over there and I'll see you in the next video.